cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner today. Profanity, racial comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this site of competition. Also, consuming or possession of alcohol beverages is prohibited. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome these two teams to today's game.
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back once again to a Sudden Kiss Field here at Grand Valley State University. It's Game 2 of the NCAA Division II Softball Tournament Region event here in Allendale, Michigan. In the first game earlier today, the home side Grand Valley defeated Hillsdale by the score of 6-1. In Game 2 today, it's last year's champions, the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles, against the Wayne State Warriors from Detroit. Hi, everyone. I'm Tom Cleary with you today for Game 2. It'll be a busy Friday coming up tomorrow with 3 more games on tap. The winner of this game will play Grand Valley in the first game tomorrow. After that, the losers from today's action will play in the second game on Friday. And then the third game on Friday will feature the survivors, loser of Game 1 against the winner of Game 2 tomorrow. And then after that, it's on to Saturday action, where the undefeated survivor will have 2 chances to win 1 game, and that will be the finals of our regional event, this portion of the regional, I should say. The championship series won't be played until next week by the winner of this half of the draw and the winner of the other half, which has got some teams in it that can play some very good softball. But right now, Grand Valley in a very good position after winning earlier today behind Allison Lepovsky. She was outstanding. 9 strikeouts and only 3 hits until she surrendered a solo homer in the final inning to make it 6-1. Well, Wayne State, under Gary Bryce, the 38-year head coach, will bat first here. It'll be Rainey Seneca, the second baseman, followed by Hannah McClooney and Brianna Kressler, the shortstop. First 3 to face the Southern Indiana pitcher in this one. And it's Jen Lenhart, who we saw last year in this tournament. Pitched her team to a title. And of course, Southern Indiana went on and created some real fireworks after that. Wayne State, the number 5 seed against the 4th seed in this region. Southern Indiana, Grand Valley's number 1. Hillsdale was seeded 8th coming in, so do the math. The 2, 3, 6, and 7 seeds playing on the other side of the draw. Lenhart wearing the protective headgear, checking her signals. And here's a ball hit in the air on the right side. Right fielder coming on here and making the catch is Southern Indiana's Allison Schubert for out number 1. The wind has blown pretty hard this afternoon from the left field line across to the right field line. And it's interesting that in the first game, there were 2 home runs to right field. Both of them were on high fly balls that got up in the breeze and carried out. There was only 1 to left field. It was arguably the hardest hit ball of the day, a home run by Grand Valley's Nicoma Holman. She hit a bullet over the scoreboard in left center field. But there is some push going out to right, so we'll keep an eye on that. Hannah McClooney bats next. This is in the air, very playable. Right fielder chasing in on this one as well, fighting the sun a bit. But no problem for Allison Schubert. She records the first 2 putouts of the ball game, and there are 2 gone for Wayne State here in the top of the first. Here's Brianna Kressler. If you're a Wayne State fan watching at home, you see that different number on the back of Kressler. That was a late jersey change. In fact, both teams had a starter that Had to revert to a different shirt. Kressler normally wearing number 12 for the Warriors from Detroit. And on the flip side, Taylor Ricketts, the shortstop, normally wears 21 for Southern Indiana. She's wearing number 7 today. And she's going to get a ball hit right at her. Strong throw across. Stretched by Haley Schaus, and the side is retired. So Wayne State puts 3 balls in play, but they have nothing to show for it. Bottom of the first coming up. No score between Wayne State and Southern Indiana here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Here on the bottom of the first inning, the batter remains for Wayne State. Pitching, number 3, Megan Guitar. And behind the plate, number 1, Ashley Messina. Leading off for the University of Southern Indiana, second baseman, number 11, Claire Jackson.
Bottom of the first inning here in Game 2 of the NCAA Women's Softball Regional at Grand Valley State University. Southern Indiana batting for the first time against the Detroiters, Wayne State. It'll be the second baseman, Claire Johnson, followed by Jen Leonard, who's actually the designated player today. She's pitching, but she will stay in the game if she leaves the circle. And Alicia Webb, first 3 scheduled here against Megan Guitar, the ace of the Wayne State staff, the workhorse, really. 37 appearances this year, a record of 20 and 13, 218 plus innings pitched. About a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, 202 strikeouts, 50 walks issued by Guitar, but she's behind right here to Claire Johnson, 2-0. Good pitching matchup here today. A couple of veteran throwers that know what they're doing. That is in the zone on the inside edge. Mark Van Maldigan is the home plate umpire today. Victor Sina at first base. Tony Sullivan, who was behind the plate in Game 1, the umpire at third base. Smashed to third and right into the mitt of Hannah McClooney. So great contact, great reaction, and one gone. Saw some really good third base play from Lydia Goebel of Grand Valley in the first game. Caught a line drive in foul territory, if you can believe that. And also made a couple of other good stops. Here is Jen Leonard. Wide open stance at the plate. They're expecting her to bunt, but instead she loops one into left field. Late break on that ball for Emily Dodge, the flex player, a late addition to the lineup, and she makes the grab for out number 2.
Left fielder, number 1, Alicia Webb.
I'm not sure Emily Dodge even had a chance to warm up at all in the outfield. We had been told that the Wayne State starter would be Rose Myers, but it was a late scratch. And so far it's worked out okay. Here's the ball in the outside corner to Alicia Webb, the left fielder. Webb comes into this ball game hitting .336, 49 starts and 50 games played. Has not had a home run yet this year. Kind of surprising for a number 3 hitter. That ball is just away. Leading home run hitter on the squad for Southern Indiana is Lindsay Barr, who's behind the plate today, and she's had only 6. So the long ball is not the biggest part of the Southern Indiana arsenal. They were 33-19 this year. 19-7 in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. It's not quite as strong coming into the tournament as they were a year ago when they won right here on this field. They eliminated Grand Valley in the championship game after Grand Valley had defeated them earlier. Smash foul down the third base line. 1-2 the count here on Alicia Webb. The first 2 have gone down against Megan Guitar for the Screaming Eagles. Webb trying to keep it alive. He turned on that one fairly nicely, did Alicia Webb, who hails from Elberfeld, Indiana. She's a sophomore. Played some in the outfield and has seen some action in the infield as well. Playing in left field today with Caitlin Bradley waiting to bat next. Just got a touch of that one to stay alive. Grand Valley in the first game 6-1 behind Allison Lipovsky, who won for the 27th time against just 2 defeats this year. And Grand Valley's 2 big power cogs, or 2 I should say, of the biggest. The people that coming into this year they thought would be the biggest power hitters. Little looper here, shortstop's gonna grab that one. Brianna Kressler has it in her glove. We're headed to the second. No score between Southern Indiana and Wayne State.
Also, fans, take home a souvenir from today's championship. Visit the NCAA merchandise stand throughout the venue for great championship gear and memorabilia. After the first inning, there's no score in today's game. And Luke out here in the second inning. For Wayne State, designated number 10, Brooke Turkle.
First left-handed hitter to face Jen Leonard for Wayne State here at the top of the second. It is Brooke Turkle, the designated player in this game. Takes that one on the outside edge for a strike. Another good pitch, identical spot almost. Turkle behind in the count, 0-2. She comes into this game hitting .301. She's one of only a small number of Wayne State players, I think 4, who have started and played in every game this year. Leonard tried to make her chase. She wasn't buying that. 1-2 the count. Turkle, the catcher, Ashley Messina, and then the pitcher, Megan Guitar. The first 3 to bat. Both pitchers hitting in this game. In the air and the infield on the right side, high and playable there and in fair territory. That's Haley Schaus squeezing that one for out number 1. Ashley Messina bats next. Comes in hitting .289. Like Turkle, she has started all 56 games this year. Messina with 19 RBIs on the season. A good swing at that one, but it kind of ran in on her hands a little bit. She pulled it foul. Talked about Southern Indiana not really being a big home run hitting team. Wayne might even be less so. Hannah McClooney, who leads the team in batting at a .423 average, had 14 home runs. She also had 14 other extra base hits, but after that it drops down to 4. Kressler and Guitar, and that one is fouled back up over the top. 1-2 count here on Ashley Messina. Player from the Detroit area suburb of Troy. This one's going to sail out of play as well. That is into the stands right next door. We see Leonard looking into the dugout all the time. She gets a signal and then she refers to the cheat sheet that she's wearing on her arm. Here's a ball hit toward left field. Moving about 5 steps to the left, though, as that one hung up in the breeze a little bit, is Alicia Webb, and she grabs that for out number 2. The ball not traveling really well to left field today. That's kind of the into the wind field. It is blowing out toward right, though, from the left field foul pole. So one up in the breeze could sail out of here. Talked about Grand Valley's home runs in the first game. One of them was on a routine-looking fly ball off the bat of Kelsey Latour, right-handed batter. Looked like a normal fly ball, just carried over the fence. But the one hit by Nicole Holman to left field was a bullet. A rising line drive. A little flare on the left side. Caught in foul territory by Mary Bean to end the top of the second. Here comes Southern Indiana to bat against Wayne State. Still no score here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Source. Visit ncaa.com/VIP to secure your VIP championship experience today.
Bottom of the second inning so far, 9 up, 9 down in this ball game. Megan Guitar in the circle for Wayne State in her second inning of work. Hitters 4, 5, and 6. Caitlin Bradley, Allison Schubert, Haley Schaus, first 3 scheduled here for the Screaming Eagles of Southern Indiana. Right-handed hitter stepping in, Caitlin Bradley. That rides in a little bit tight on her. 301 batting average. She's been ever present on the lineup card this year. 52 games, 52 starts. Well, that one just missed. Maybe Guitar wondering where, perhaps. Sue Kunkel is the head coach in her 18th year now. Boy, two coaches with more than 55 years of combined head coaching experience in this game. Guitar got the call that time. I'm not sure that looked as good as the previous pitch, but sensible work behind the plate by Mark Van Maldigan. Might have squeezed the pitcher a little bit on the first one. Might have given her an inch or two of the plate on the second. There's a flare hit over the dugout. Look out, big fella, over there. That's Terry Ballard, our camera guy, who was, I hate to say it, but that's the first foul ball he's missed in his direction in probably 2 or 3 seasons. 2-2 count now on Caitlin Bradley, the center fielder for the University of Southern Indiana. This is going to be the game's first base hit into left field. Just past the glove of the shortstop, Brianna Kressler. Dodge hustles it back in. Not a real hard hit ball, but in the right spot. Here's Allie Schubert, the right fielder now. Interesting call here for Kunkel. We might see what kind of game they expect this to be. Play small ball, or are they going to go for it? Schubert looks to me like she's thinking about squaring. No, she's going to swing. She checked her swing and fouled it back to the screen, so bunting was not a thought at all there. 288 hitter, another player that has started every game this season, has 21 RBIs and 5 home runs, number 2 on the team in that category. That's a good pitch by Guitar. She's backing up a little bit. You know, she wanted that call. Outfield is straight away. Deepest in the outfield for Wayne is Rachel Clayton at right, as she should be with the wind blowing out in that direction. The fielder might be in a few steps. Now here's the bunt, and this could be problematic. Oh, good play by the catcher, who got right back to the screen, did Ashley Messina, and she helps her pitcher and her team out with that play. Located that ball without taking off the mask, too.
Number 24,
so 1 out here in the Southern Indiana second. Good play, though, by Messina on that bunt attempt that was up in the air and almost got back into the netting there, but the catcher chased it back and kept it in play. That's that ball that rides in a little bit. It's a pitch that Allison Lepovsky of Grand Valley throws very well. I call it almost like a cut fastball. It's fairly straight, but it dives in on lefties and slightly away from right-handers, and that one caught a bit of the plate here against Haley Schaus. And that's another strike there. So some good work done by Guitar. Let's see if she goes right after this big left-handed hitter, Schaus. I would think she might want to work away a little bit with that wind blowing out toward right. She might even waste one here. That's exactly the strategy. And that accomplishes 2 things. You can get the hitter maybe to chase, and I don't think that it's very likely that Haley Schaus is going to pull that pitch or a ball well to the outside over the right field fence, unless she dives all the way across the plate. Ooh, interesting right there. Little off-speed delivery. The hitter was completely fooled, but Mark Van Maldigan thought it was slightly inside. 2-2. Off-speed stuff can be cute and it can work, but you cannot miss up in the zone. Schaus stays alive. player with no home runs this year, 291 batting average. These two teams are quite similar in that regard. Not powerhouse offensive outfits. 293 team batting average for USI, and for Wayne State, just a little bit over 300, which in this sport is not what you might think is great.
Back for the Screaming Eagles.
That ground ball to second is the second out of the inning as Schaus goes out. Runner advances on the play. That's Bradley down in scoring position now with Lindsey Barr stepping in. Nice work, though, done by Megan Guitar to get the hitter to roll over on that ball. Easy out on the right side. Here's a tapper to short. Good clean pickup, and the throw across, a strong one by Kressler. Wayne is out of trouble here. We go to the third. Still 0-0 here in Game 2 of the NCAA Division II softball tournament game from Grand Valley State University.
AT&T, Capital One, and Coca-Cola. And our corporate partners, Buffalo Wild Wings, UF, DeGrave, Geico, Google Cloud, Infinity and Intel, as well as Lowe's, Marriott, Nabisco, Pizza Hut, Reese's, Uber Eats, and Wendy's. Their support enhances NCAA championships and the educational and athletic experiences of nearly 500,000 NCAA student athletes.
In that second inning, Lindsey Barr, the catcher for USI, made the final out. She got out there for exactly one warm-up toss, which I don't think bothered Jen Leonard too much. She knows what she's doing out there, and she's been at it a while. Probably thought, well, saved a little bit of my arm strength here. Bottom third for Wayne State. Emma Adams, Rachel Clayton, Monica Daly, and that's a base hit to left field. First pitch swinging, Emma Adams has the first hit of the ball game for the Warriors of Gary Bryce. Rachel Clayton bats next, 250 hitter. Adams came into that at bat, hitting only 260 on the year. So put 2 and 2 together, and you have what I think is probably a bunting situation here for the left-handed hitter. She squares, takes it. That's a strike. It would have been a pretty perfect pitch to bunt. Fastball toward the outside corner. Freshman third baseman. They might want to be taking advantage of that with Mary Bean down there. Ideally, though, she would drag this one toward first base. That's on the outside corner again. And boy, there's two schools of thought. If you're going to bunt, just give yourself up. And then there's the school of thought that says if you put it in play and run from that left-handed batter's box in the women's game, you might get something out of it. But if you're playing for a one-run game, why not just go after it? And that's pretty much a wasted at-bat there, as Clayton took two good bunting pitches for strikes and then swung through the third, and that ball was well off the plate. So good work done by Leonard. Pounds the zone, gets rewarded. Here's Monica Daly, the center fielder, batting from the left side. She pops that up in the air, and it's going to be caught by the third baseman. So a little bit of an exhibition in what not to do when you're trying to lay one down here from Wayne State in the third inning. One player took two strikes that were buntable. The next one popped one up in the air. And third baseman Bean almost overran that ball, but got it into her glove for the second out of the inning. And here is Rainey Seneca, the second baseman. You know she's not going to be bunting. Takes the pitch a little bit low. Would be probably an ideal situation to run with Adams if you could, if you feel she can steal a base. 2 out, your leadoff hitter up. You'd like to get her involved in the next inning if she doesn't have a runner in scoring position. Some hard smash. Boy, shortstop could have just stepped on the bag, instead threw it across. Nice play by Taylor Ricketts. We go to the bottom of the third. Still no score between Southern Indiana and Wayne State.
In the top of the third, Indians, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Hey fans, did you know more than 50,000 student athletes compete in NCAA championships at more than 800 sites across the country each year? Find a championship near you by visiting ncaa.com/tickets. Also fans, do you plan to play college sports? Well, visit ncaa.org/play college sports to learn more about NCAA eligibility requirements. Off the bottom of the third.
Bottom of the third here, 8-9-1 for Southern Indiana against Wayne State. It'll be the shortstop, Taylor Ricketts, followed by the DH, Courtney Schoolcraft, and then the top of the batting order, Claire Johnson. Both teams have a hit in this game, but neither have mounted, neither one has mounted a serious rally of any kind. Here's one swung on and hit down into the right field corner. Foul off the bat of Taylor Ricketts. Ricketts is a very strong defender. She's had a couple of chances already today that she has handled quite well. Batting average, though, just .257 on the season. But she's a fixture in that lineup for USI. That's on the inside corner. Guitar moves quickly ahead here. 0-2. Taylor Ricketts is from Georgetown, Kentucky. She's a junior on this squad. Composition of the Wayne State team is pretty interesting. They've got a handful of players from Ontario, Canada. I think actually about 7. You count them all up, maybe even more than that. And that's not unusual for Wayne State. They've gone over there to get players across the bridge quite frequently down through the years. 2-2 pitch coming up in the air on the right side. Long way to run for the right fielder. Didn't take the best of routes, and in the end, Rainey Seneca, the second baseman, came closest to that ball. A little bit of a late start for Clayton. I think she originally thought that ball was hit harder than it was. Just about where Megan Guitar wanted that one. The hitter was kind of hanging out over the plate a little bit. She came inside. Ricketts jumped out of the way, and lucky for her, that ball was just off the edge. Full count now on the leadoff hitter here for Southern Indiana. Ooh, not going to get that call. That one got a good bit of the plate, and Ricketts is a strikeout victim to start the bottom of the third. Let's see it again. He'll be the judge. Here's Schoolcraft, the DH in this game. outside corner. Schoolcraft hitting .233 in 24 games this season. She does have a couple of home runs, though. So maybe she's starting to find her way a little bit as the year goes on. And she's going to smack this one to right field for a base hit. If Wayne State had thought about it, they might have been able to throw back in behind the runner, but the right fielder out there, Rachel Clayton, played it safe. I think she was maybe worried. Wet grass gets a funny bounce, and you've got somebody on third base. So Schoolcraft comes up with a hit. And the freshman from Crest Hill, Illinois, is aboard with one out. And here's the top of the batting order, and now some changes here. They're going to get a runner. And coming into the game to run, it's got to be somebody else, I think. Yeah, they're going to make the change. It's going to be well, they were going to get a runner for Schoolcraft, and they couldn't do it. And I think one of the reasons why they couldn't do it is the player that they sent out there, Mary Bean, is already in the game. She is the flex player playing at third base defensively, but not batting. So Schoolcraft gets to enjoy the fruits of her labors, a base hit with one out here in the third. And here's a hard smash foul off the bat of Claire Johnson, who hit a line drive to the third baseman, Hannah McClooney, to start this game. So here's a hitter that's dialed in. Veteran player, 371 on the year. Pretty impressive extra base hit total, 20, 4 home runs, 5 triples, 11 doubles, 32 RBI, second on the team for Claire Johnson. Guitar tried to nibble off a piece of the outside corner, couldn't quite find it. Don't think that Schoolcraft is a big threat to be running down there. Corner infielders are just about even with the bag. At first base, Emma Adams in a step. Lenhart is on deck, the pitcher. Big at bat here. And Guitar held on to that one a little bit. Her release point wasn't where she wanted it to be and missed by about 1.5 feet to the outside. 3-1 now the count on Claire Johnson. Dangerous hitter here. Arguably the best batter that Sue Kunkel has on her lineup card today. Smashes that one, but it's foul again. Well, you wonder what Guitar is thinking right now, because she's faced this hitter twice in this game, and she's hit the ball hard down the third base line 3 times. One was caught for an out, and she's hit 2 fouls down there. A little surprising for me to see Monica Daly almost straight away in center. I would think that she might be a little bit more around to left field to protect the gap. That's out of play on the right side. I think that Emily Dodge gets it out there in left field. She's about 25 feet off the foul line, a little bit toward the line. Might want to be a little bit more, but there are big gaps right there in the outfield. In both right and left center. But instead, it's up in the air. Let's see if the pitcher can take it, squeeze it, and she does. Catcher gave way. Easier defensive play for the player coming in always. But on the other hand, your pitcher probably doesn't have a lot of experience catching pop-ups. Good work done, though, by Megan Guitar to retire Johnson on a pop-up to the mound, or the hill, or the circle, if you will. The pitcher. Here's Jen Lenhart, batting for the second time. She flew out to left field in her last at-bat. talked about Megan Guitar. She's beaten a lot of teams this year. One team she hasn't beaten is Grand Valley, which has had its way with Wayne State this season. Megan Guitar is from the Thumb area, from Croswell, Lexington. Her hometown is Croswell, Michigan. 1-1 the count on Leonard. Oh, nice off speed there. Leonard was completely fooled. She left a little bit early and then couldn't pull the trigger. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Guitar. 1 pitch away perhaps from her 3rd straight scoreless inning here against Southern Indiana. Oh, check swing on the outside corner. Leonard is a strikeout victim. We go to the 4th. No score yet between Wayne State and Southern Indiana.
Program on your mobile device, tablet, or laptop free of charge. Visit ncaa.com/game programs for an inside look at today's championship. And fans, after the 3rd inning, there's no score. At bat for Wayne State here in the top of the 4th. It's the 3rd baseman, number 11, Hannah McClooney.
Wayne State batting in the 4th here against Southern Indiana. No score in the Division II NCAA Tournament Softball Regional game at Grand Valley. This is Hannah McClooney, who flew out to right field in her first at bat. Kind of a quirky play in that last half inning. We'll go back and walk you through the steps on that, on what happened when Southern Indiana was going to make a substitution involving the flex player, opted not to do it, and then we were kind of wondering why. That's a good fastball from Leonard right there. Hasn't really blown people away yet, has only 1 strikeout in this game, but sometimes when you've got good command and maybe less than a plus fastball, you can get it by somebody who's looking for something else. McClooney squared as if to bunt, but didn't seem fully committed to the concept there. 2-2 now. What happened in that last half inning, after Schoolcraft got on board, Southern Indiana was going to make a change and bring in the flex player Mary Bean to run for her. And the flex player can do that, can enter and leave and re-enter any number of times under the rules of softball, but the problem becomes that the DH can only go out and re-enter twice. So maybe that figured into the thinking a little bit. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. I'm not quite sure. We'd have to ask Sue Kunkel what her thought was on that. But after the second time, I think the DH cannot stay in the ball game. So maybe early on they felt this one might go for a while. Why endanger our lineup, especially when the DH just had a hit. A little unusual. Looked like a little bit of a foul up, but in the end, I think Southern Indiana ended up doing exactly what they wanted to do. This is fisted foul for a 1-1 count on Brianna Kessler, the shortstop. That last strikeout. The second for Jen Leonard. This is in the air on the right side. I think this is going to drift just out of play and does. Into the bullpen area for Wayne State. 1-2 here on Brianna Kressler. 359 batting average coming into this game. Team leader in RBIs with 44. Second on the team in home runs with 4. Just got a touch of that one to stay alive. Brooke Turkle on deck for Wayne State. Wearing all black today with green numbers. Southern Indiana with their traditional red, white, and blue. In the air to right field, not very deep. Wind a little tricky out there for Allison Schubert, but she's got another one in her glove. She's been busy out there today. And that's the second out of the 4th inning. Here's Brooke Turkle. It'll pop up to the first baseman. Her last at bat. Here's a smash right back through the box into center field, and Turkle's on board. It's only the second hit of the ball game for Wayne State here. And for the other side, 2 hits for Southern Indiana. Ashley Messina batting now. It's out of play, foul. Messina, one of only a couple of seniors on this team for Wayne State. Her battery mate, Megan Guitar, also a senior, as is Hannah McClooney. So they're going to have some big losses on this Wayne State club for next year. 3 very good players right there to sort out. This is up in the air, and Bean has it for out number 3. A little weak pop-up ends the Wayne State 4th. Nothing across for the Warriors. Home half of the 4th inning for Southern Indiana coming up here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Once again, current or former members of our armed forces, please stand at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for these men and women who have given so much to serve our country.
Where will the breakthrough come from here in this game this afternoon? Game 2 of the regional at Grand Valley. Grand Valley actually started quite nicely today, scoring runs in 4 of its first 5 innings. The Lakers scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Jumped out to a quick and pretty sizable lead in defeating Hillsdale 6-1. Hillsdale got its only run in its final at bat against Allison Lepovsky. Here's a ball hit in the air on the right side. Second baseman calling for this one. Gives way, though, to the right fielder, Rachel Clayton. Seneca backed out. And Clayton, who had a good break on that ball, puts it away for out number 1. So Alicia Webb goes out on a fly ball to right. Here is Caitlin Bradley, who singled at the first hit of this ball game for USI back in the second inning. facing Megan Guitar again. These pitchers have had a slight bit of duress, maybe Guitar a little bit more than Jen Leonard, but they've worked out of some, I wouldn't say difficult situations, but sticky situations. It's a good pitch there from Megan Guitar. Smash on the ground, nice pickup by the shortstop, double pumps, fires it across, does Brianna Kressler, and retires Caitlin Bradley for out number 2. Good shortstop play in both games today, especially in this one, where you see Kressler down there. She's a very impressive defensive player, a lot of confidence, trusts her arm. She's one of the Canadian players from Kitchener in Ontario. And with 2 gone, here's Allison Schubert. She tried to bunt back in the second inning after Bradley had led off with a single, popped it up back to the screen, and it was snagged by the catcher Ashley Messina on a very fine defensive play that kind of harpooned the burgeoning threat for USI. See the catcher Messina looking over to get the signal from her bench. A little different system here of calling the pitches. In the air on the right side again, long run, second baseman giving way. That was one I think that probably Seneca should have gone for. I think she might have gotten there. The right fielder was never going to get there, but I don't think Seneca really realized that. If we see this one again, you'll see the second baseman kind of pulling out of the play just a touch, and as a result, the right fielder, who's playing deep, because that's the wind field today, was not able to get to that ball in foul territory. So still alive is Allison Schubert here. Let's see if she can take advantage of that good fortune. Oh, she swung through a breaking ball there. 2-2 with 2 gone. Great off speed that time. Completely fooled the hitter, and it wasn't anywhere near the zone. Pretty much no way that one was going to be hit by anybody. Oh, and she came back off speed again and got a swing and a miss for a strikeout to end the frame. 5th inning coming up. Still no score between Wayne State and Southern Indiana here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
And 100% guaranteed. For more information, visit ncaa.com/exchange. Leading off for the Warriors here at the top of the 5th inning, it's the pitcher, number 3, Megan Guitar.
Now, when it comes to diamond sports, baseball and softball, we sometimes reflect on the fact that a player that makes a good play to end an inning sometimes is the next hitter in the next half inning. Well, Megan Guitar didn't make a defensive play, but she made 2 very sweet pitches there, 2 off-speed deliveries to get the strikeout against Allison Schubert to end the 4th for Southern Indiana. Batting for the 2nd time now, Guitar popped to 3rd, her first at bat. Somebody's got to get one into the gap here and see if we can generate some runs in this game for one of these 2 teams, or both. Guitar facing Leonard. Right on that fastball, but back to the screen, 0-2 the count as pitcher goes against pitcher here, which we have seen already in this game. This is the fourth confrontation. Leonard is 0 for 2 with a strikeout against Guitar. Guitar 0 for 1, trying to avoid a strikeout right here against Leonard. And she will, well, I don't know if this one's going to stay in play. That ball did stay in play. Third baseman came all the way back in behind the plate, and it makes you wonder, where was Lindsay Barr on that one? Maybe she just didn't pick it up. Sometimes that happens in this sport with those masks that catchers wear. They're a little bit more difficult, I think, than the average baseball mask. This is in the air to left field. On a normal day, that might have been interesting, but the wind blowing this one back into play, and Guitar is out on a fly ball to Alicia Webb for out number 1. Here's Emma Adams batting next.
First baseman, number 9, Emma Adams.
Emma had the first hit of the ball game, a line drive over the head of the third baseman that came back in the third as she was leading off. 0-1 the count. That's a good pitch from Leonard right there. It's been a consistent call from Mark Van Maldigan in this game. 0-2 now. Nobody aboard here for Wayne State in the top of the 5th inning against the Screaming Eagles of Southern Indiana. Ball on the ground is short. Good pick up there and a toss across. Another fine play made by Taylor Ricketts. Sometimes that third or fourth bounce can be the one that jumps up and eats you up, but she stayed with it. Made a strong throw across to retire Adams. Rachel Clayton bats next, a strikeout victim in her only at bat. So we take a look at Ricketts out there, and now Jen Leonard. That ball was up and out of the zone that time, but it was where Rachel Clayton could see it, and she took a cut. Strike 1. Not going to bite 2 in a row, though. Monica Daly is on deck for Wayne State. She'll bat next if she gets the opportunity here. Kind of an uncommitted swing that time by Rachel Clayton. Batting .250 at the start of the day's play. 1 home run, 11 RBIs. Good discipline right there. Sometimes you just have to take a pitch because you know you're not going to hit it. You're a left-handed hitter, which means you're trying to get the head start out of the box, pulling yourself off the ball. And if that one had been a strike, you probably wouldn't have hit it anyway. Clayton stays alive here. I think the only person that might be happy about this game right now is Dana Callahan, the Grand Valley coach, seeing that both pitchers are being forced to go deep in counts, throw a lot of pitches. And there's a swing and a miss to retire Wayne State in the 5th. 3 up, 3 down. Southern Indiana bats next. It's still 0-0 here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Granting over 500 wishes to Make-A-Wish families. Additionally, Division II has successful partnerships with military groups and Team Impact. To learn more about Division II community engagement, visit ncaa.org/D2. Leading off for the Screaming Eagles. Here in the bottom of the fifth, it's the first baseman, number 24, Haley Schaus.
Bottom of the fifth inning here now for Southern Indiana. Haley Schaus bats first. She was out on a grounder to second in her first at bat back in the second inning, batting for the second time against Megan Guitar. Pitch right there called ball one by Mark Van Maldigan. Victor Sina, the first base umpire. Tony Sullivan is on the third base line at the moment. Extra umpire for these NCAA tournament games. Appreciated by all competitors, I'm sure. This is a ball that is just foul. Speaking of Tony Sullivan, he was right on that one. It's kind of a tough play sometimes for an umpire. You wheel around, and you've got to pick up that ball, and that wasn't more than a foot foul, if that, off the bat of Haley Schaus. So you're at once happy that the ball didn't hit you, but then you've got to make sure you get that call correct. That ball looked to me like it was labeled for the corner in fair territory, but it just sliced foul. 1-1 count. Went off speed that time, did Megan Guitar. That's on the edge. Good pitch from Guitar. Fighting back. 2-2 the count. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Both teams with a couple of hits, but no runs so far in this one. Guitar tried to work the outside part of the plate that time, and Schaus got a little piece of it to stay alive. Schaus, Lindsey Barr, Taylor Ricketts, first three scheduled hitters. On the ground, into right field for a base hit. So good at bat by Haley Schaus there. Third hit of the ball game for her side. Lindsey Barr in her last at bat in a ground ball to short. And with nobody out, and you're talking about the number 7 hitter, you got to believe that Southern Indiana is thinking, number one, about getting a runner here for Schaus at first base. There's going to be some changes here that we might not be able to sort out completely. The runner coming into the game, I think that is Julianne Bell, the utility player from Indiana.
Pinch runner for the University of Southern Indiana. Now running at first base, number 17, Julianne Bell.
Don't know if there's any other changes, but you know that in this situation, you've kind of telegraphed your intentions here. Fifth inning of a scoreless game. Bottom of the batting order up right now. Wayne State's got to be looking bunt. Wheel play is on. It's a bunt. It's a good one. The pitcher's going to throw to first. They'll get the out. Right back down to second. And, ooh, very close down there at second base. Shortstop ducked in behind. It was Kressler, and man, I think it was closer than some people know, and that would be embarrassing for a pinch runner. They put you into the game, and you overrun a base on a sacrifice. It was picture perfect on the bunt. Let's see if we get a look at this one on the play at the end of the play. We have a camera on the third base side. It goes back. Oh, she was out. Goodness. Boy, it was awfully close down there, but looked to me like they got her. Pop up on the infield. And the recently aggrieved Brianna Kressler makes the catch. Boy, I saw Kressler's reaction on that play, and she just about jumped out of her spikes on that play at second base, and we saw that replay, and it looked from a long ways away that she had a legitimate argument. So 2 out now. Runner still in scoring position here for Schoolcraft, and she takes a strike. Just outside from Guitar, who's been pretty good in situations like this one where she's had some traffic on the bases. She's dialed up some big pitches, and she would like to get one right here to retire the number 9 hitter and end this uprising for Southern Indiana. No score, bottom of the 5th. 1-2 now on Courtney Schoolcraft, who had a base hit her last at bat. In the air on the right side, in foul territory. First baseman with plenty of room, and she makes the catch. Emma Adams has got it in her glove. We're going to the 6th. Still no score in this one between Southern Indiana and Wayne State.
Athletes and corporate champions and partners to actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played, providing disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, and educational support. The NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in each community we visit. Leading off here in the 6th inning for Wayne State, it's the center fielder, number 15, Monica Daly.
All right, top of the 6th here for Wayne State. Something's got to give for one of these two teams. Monica Daly, number 9 hitter, leading off against Jen Leonard. Megan Guitar worked herself out of trouble in the last half of the 5th, and now her team trying to give her a run or two. That one is tapped foul down the third baseline. Gary Price got a leg out. Well, we have a second. I'd like to give mention to the guys who have worked on our crew today. Our games are being produced today and directed by Miles Jonasson. The engineer in charge is Brad Scott. Our webmaster, Nate Hoekstra. Our photographers, Terry Ballard, Dave LaFerge McLeod, Mark Washburn, and our replay man is Mr. Tony Packer. I'm Tom Cleary with you in the booth, and we've seen Grand Valley pick up its first win of the tournament, 6-1 against Hillsdale in the opener, but in this one, finally poised, as they say. Nothing here in the top of the 6th. 1-2 the count, spoiled again by the Wayne State batter, Monica Daly. Randy Seneca, the leadoff hitter for Wayne State in this lineup today, waits in the on-deck circle. So it's 9-1-2 here for the Warriors. And here's a ball hit to left field, coming hard. The left fielder, oh, she made the catch. What a nice play that is by Alicia Webb, who got the glove down. And more importantly, even if she hadn't caught that one, she had to make sure she kept it in front, and she did both. Really a nice catch here. Here's the ball out to left field. And she makes the grab. Kind of surprised herself a little bit with that one. So Daly is the first out. And here is Seneca batting with one gone in the Warrior 6th inning. .325 batting average on the year. Total of 67 hits, second on the team, or third on the team in that category. McClooney has 71, Kressler has 69. And Seneca is a player who can run, so it's very important to see if she can get on here. And at that point, you'd have to wonder whether or not Gary Bryce would turn her loose on the bases, try to get in scoring position. Wayne State has not really had a serious threat here in this ball game. She follows that one off the Kelly Family Sports Center behind us and to our right. Seneca right on that one again. Umpire needs to reload here and get some new balls to put into play. Turned into a pretty nice afternoon here in Allendale. If you look out beyond the center field fence right now, you can see a group of golfers at the Meadows Golf Club. Didn't look like much golf would be played here this morning when they had to delay the start of the first game 2.5 hours because of the rain that was falling throughout the morning. But it's turned into a kind of a nice afternoon. The breeze has died down just a little. It was pretty strong during the first game as the temperature started to rise. Now about 70 degrees, I would think, here in West Michigan. It's a tough hitter right now that Jen Leonard's trying to take care of. Rainey Seneca behind in the count 1-2, but fighting hard to give her team a chance. And she's going to do exactly that with a sharp single to center field. So good at bat for Seneca, who picks up her first hit of the day. She's on board with one gone here in the sixth. And now it's Hannah McClooney, the leading hitter on this Wayne State team, stepping in. 423 batting average. Here's the pitch again, right in the middle of the plate, about waist high. And that's the one you're looking for if you're a hitter. Whistled it right past the right ear of Jen Leonard. And now McClooney trying to make it happen for her side. She's bunting, and it's foul. That one never got out of the left-handed batter's box. Well, it shows you just how tight this one figures to be when teams are bunting with one out. You see that a little bit more in softball than you do baseball, but still it's a little bit on the rare side, I think. But just trying to get one runner into scoring position. That is a called strike that time to McClooney. Now you have to think about this. Well, with 2 strikes, you don't have to think too much about it, but I wonder if Gary Bryce might have preferred to do something different there. His #1 hitter bunting in this situation. I mean, with 2 on and nobody out, maybe, but right here. But he made his decision, and now it's 1-2 on McClooney, who is green-lighted to do whatever she can do with her stick. Facing Leonard. Runner at first can go. It's Rainey Seneca. That one got away from the catcher, but nice recovery. That ball was actually knocked up in the air by Lindsey Barr, and it didn't get past her. I think she lost track of it for a moment, and so did the runner, but discretion, the better part of valor for the base runner, Seneca down there. 2-2 the count. McClooney a tough out. Let's see what happens. It's in the air on the right side and just getting out of play behind the Wayne State dugout. Will they start the runner in this situation with the hopes of a ball getting into the gap? Late in the game, Grand Valley did that against Hillsdale, and they hit into a line drive double play to right field. In the air, on the left side, going to stay in play. Ricketts coming hard. The third baseman is there. Oh, my gosh. A collision. I hope Ricketts is okay. She took it in the face. I don't really know how you determine who's got the better shot at that one. Generally on foul flies, the shortstop has it, but that was only about 10 feet foul and not very far from the bag. I think that you really kind of have to trust that the third baseman's going to make the play here. Ricketts is coming in on the ball, but, oh, my goodness. Man, that had to hurt. I'm not sure if it was her teammate that got her or if the ball bounced up and hit her. Nothing personal there, I'm sure of that, but maybe a little bit of an experience with the freshman third baseman down there. Ricketts is going to be okay. She's going to stay in the game. She's all right. Maybe a little embarrassed that she didn't make the play there, but with the collision, I don't know how you could expect her to do that. I really think that, oh, that ball hit her right in the chops. My goodness. Wasn't played very well by Bean. She kind of got turned around. She was actually facing the outfield by the time she tried to get her glove up. Either of them could have caught it, neither one of them did. So McClooney stays alive, and boy, you sometimes get a bad thought when you're a pitcher and you think you've got to put out. That got away. Bad things can happen. Let's see if Leonard can avoid that. She runs it full at 3-2 now with Brianna Kressler on deck. Boy, it's now or never for Wayne State. This is the best part of its batting order up there right now with a chance to push ahead. Boy, Leonard goes upstairs and gets her with a fastball for a swinging strike 3. So at the end of the day, no damage, except to the left cheek, I think, of Taylor Ricketts, who took that foul pop-up in a very tender spot. Here's Kressler now. In the air on the right side, this one's going to creep out of play as well. The wind is pushing the ball that way a little bit, so on these weak flies on the right side, hitters are often getting second life. We saw just the opposite on that play a few moments ago when McClooney hit one that looked like it was going to carry out of play. It blew back in, and then the left side of the infield made a hash of it. Bean couldn't make the play, obscured the view of the shortstop, Ricketts, who took that ball off her face. 1-1 the count. Kressler, good batter up there right now. 359 hitter on the season. Boy, she went for that high fastball, though, and you're never going to quite get on top of that pitch. Talked about that with Allison Lepovsky of Grand Valley in Game 1. Throws some pitches that are in the middle of the zone, but at the waist or above, that's just a hard pitch to measure properly. 1-2 now. Boy, good job there by Kressler to fight that one off. It was a very good pitcher's pitch, kind of moving away from the hitter. As I said earlier, though, Grand Valley's happy to see what's happening here today because both these pitchers are throwing a lot of pitches. They're working very hard. You would think that the winner of this game would probably use their Game 1 starter again tomorrow against Grand Valley. In the air on the right side, this is a can of corn here for the first baseman, and that is gloved by Haley Schaus for the final out of the 6th. Wayne State fails to score. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Still 0-0 between the Screaming Eagles and the Warriors on the Grand Valley Sports Network. Well, the signage tells you the story. What's happening here in Allendale, Michigan today? The NCAA 2019 Division II Softball Championship, hashtag D2SB. And in the background there, the Carillon Tower, which has been refurbished here in the last couple of years at Grand Valley. We used to see that a lot during the football broadcast here, but then they put up the Kelly Family Sports Center, and it's no longer part of the football broadcast. Good to see that the work has been completed. It looks better than ever. As we take a look at the top of the batting order here, Claire Johnson leading off for Southern Indiana, followed by Leonard and Webb. First three against Megan Guitar. Off speed that time. Claire Johnson looked as though she might have had a thought or two about bunting in that situation. Count going even at 1-1. Not much time left for either club. Not a lot of hitting in this ball game today. There's a hit, though, to left field. Wayne State outfielder Emily Dodge blocked that one down in front of her, but that's a hard line drive single for Johnson to get things started here. And that brings up Leonard. Now, this is an interesting situation because Leonard certainly could be called upon to bunt here. She is arguably one of the top hitters on this team, batting .366 on the season, second only to the player who's down at first base right now, Claire Johnson. Will she be bunting here? I gotta believe she's bunting here. Oh, she bunted through it. No for a veteran player like this one. Junior from Louisville in Kentucky is Jen Leonard. She's bunting again. She gets it done this time. They're going to go to second. Oh, safe. Not the advisable play there, I don't think. It was too good of a bunt, and McCloney took a chance, but she hesitated a little bit, and that could have been a disaster. And now you got a situation where you got to figure it's a situation where now you've got two on and nobody out, and why wouldn't you bunt again here with Alicia Webb? And I gotta believe that's gonna happen. If you're Wayne State here, I think what you've got to do is you got to get those corner fielders way in, because you do need to cut down the lead runner this time if at all possible. Keep an eye on the shortstop moving toward third. Smash! Foul ball. Oh, goodness. That almost hit the glove of the third baseman, who was in fair territory. But luckily, McCloney couldn't get a handle on that one, and it went just foul. We saw the home plate umpire make the call, so the indication there was that ball did not get past third base. I was looking at Tony Sullivan. He never flinched. How about that if you're a third baseman? Line drive right at you, and you're thinking about a bunt situation. Now's a beautiful time for a bunt, I think, if you're Southern Indiana, because you frightened the infielder on the left side. She doesn't know what you're going to be doing. And if you put one down here toward the first baseman, should be no problem for Johnson to get to third. And there's a strike. And this is what Guitar has done today. In tight situations, she's made some big pitches against good hitters. Now, if she gets a strikeout here, that makes up for that last faux pas. But she's not getting a strikeout, and she's not getting any outs. This is up against the wall and will score the game's first run. Dodge hustles it back in. It's a double for Alicia Webb, and the breakthrough finally comes with the promise perhaps of more for Southern Indiana. There wasn't really much that Emily Dodge could do. That ball was hit so hard. I don't really think there was any chance she had to get to that one. Claire Johnson comes around to score from second. On the play, Leonard goes to third. And now it's second and third with nobody out. Wayne State really in a pickle right now. Down a run, in danger of falling even further behind. And now we're getting a change here, I think. I'm not sure what change they may have made, but Sue Kunkel came out and talked to the umpire, but I don't see anybody being exchanged. And this is Caitlin Bradley batting now. A roller into the outfield would score 2 in this situation and almost lock this one away for Jen Leonard. That's on the outside corner. Well, you can't cave right now if you're Guitar. If you can get a strikeout and a pop-up and then anything, you'll leave your team with a fighting chance in the top of the 7th. Any more damage right now, though, and Wayne State has not hit the ball too impressively today. They'd be hard-pressed to make something happen. That pitch just misses inside, 1-1. Well, it was a single that started this inning, but really the key play was when Leonard bunted. Hannah McClooney tried to go down to second for the force out. If she had thrown right away, she might have had a chance. I think she was waiting for the fielder to get to the base and just hesitated a moment before firing down there. Didn't get anybody, and then with 2 on and nobody out, a ringing double by Alicia Webb to score the game's first run. Caitlin Bradley batting now. Just outside. Messina tried to frame that one a little bit, but wasn't quite able to pull it off. 2-2 now the count. Just got to dig in. Strikeouts are possible. Guitar gets one here. She might get out of this. She's not going to get out of it. She's given up another run, maybe 2. Dodge is going to hustle it back into the infield. So a single and an RBI to make it 2-0. Runner stops at third. That is Webb down there, and Leonard scores on the play. So 3 hits and a bunt that was not played properly, I would have to say, by Wayne State, leading to 2 runs, and it ain't over yet for the Warriors from the Great Lakes Conference. They've got a lot of work to do to wiggle off the hook here. This is Allison Schubert, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. She can put one in play on the right side. She might get that run home from third. Runner is going. They're going to throw down. No, kind of a crazy play. It wasn't much of a throw by Messina. Second baseman jumped in as if to cut that one off. It went past her, and luckily for Wayne State, Brianna Kressler was able to glove that one on the bounce. So second and third, that changes the dynamic quite a bit. And ball 1 count. That's on the edge, so says Mark Van Maltigan. No scoring in this one until this half inning. Megan Guitar, the senior, trying to work out of a big jam. Oh, that's caught by the second baseman. A diving catch right there by Seneca. That is a huge out for Wayne State. I mean, to have any chance whatsoever, the Warriors have to slam the door right now. I'm not sure what would have happened even if she hadn't caught that. If it had just trickled out of her glove, the runner had already gone back toward third. I think they would have gotten the out anyway. And both runners did not stray very far from their respective bases. So Schubert is the first out of the inning on a line drive to second. This is a pitch that's a strike now to Haley Schaus, the first baseman. 1 for 2 with a single in her last at bat. Schaus on the season, .291, the batting mark. That's another good pitch right there from Megan Guitar. Boy, she's had some good pitches for second strikes, but she has not really been able to ring too many hitters up in this game. In fact, she has only 2 strikeouts to her credit, but if she could make some pitches like that in 2-strike situations, well, you never know. Here's a ball looped to left field. It's going to fall in fair. This should score 2. Dodge with the throw back in. 2-run score. It's a double, and Southern Indiana has blown this one open now on the 2-run double by Haley Schaus to make it a 4-0 ball game. Well, you can talk all you want about the base hits, and there have been 4 of them in this inning for Southern Indiana. But really the key play was that bunt after the Claire Johnson leadoff single that really opened the door Instead of taking the sure out at first base, Wayne tried to get the lead runner, didn't pull it off, and then it's all falling apart for the Warriors, who are in danger of falling into the losers bracket of this region, which would mean a game tomorrow at roughly 2 o'clock against Hillsdale. But Southern Indiana may not be done just yet. Only one gone, still a runner in scoring position. It's out of play. 1-1 the count now. This is the 7th batter of the inning. Only one out so far, registered by Wayne State. 2 doubles, 2 singles, and a player reaching on a fielder's choice. All part of this rally. Here's a shot that is a fair ball. Boy, I don't know what the hitter's thinking about there. She's got to be running all the way. That ball was touched in fair territory, popped out of the glove of the first baseman, Emma Adams, into foul territory. But for whatever reason,
Number 7, Taylor Ricketts.
Can't quite figure that one out at all. Schoolcraft was not really moving after she hit that one. Or I should say, Barb. Here's a ball up the middle into center field. This will probably score another run. No, they hold the runner at third. That ball gets past Guitar. Man, I thought that was a no-brainer to send the runner from third there in that situation. It wasn't a particularly strong throw by Monica Daly in center field. I think I'd be inclined to take the chance there, up 4.
Number 8, Courtney Schoolcraft.
Wayne State this inning leaking out of both sides of the boat, and Southern Indiana decided to hold the runner at third. And now Schoolcraft bats. Out of play on the right side. That play that happened moments ago, that ball was off the bat of Barr, the catcher, number 6, not Schoolcraft, as I think I might have alluded. At the time it happened, it was a line drive off the first baseman's glove. The ball then bounded into foul territory, and the hitter just stopped running, thinking it was a foul ball for some reason. And generally, you learn in the early days of your diamond career, when you hit it, you run, and they'll tell you when to come back. Out of play over the top of us. A base hit for Ricketts. Nice little reward for her after being hit in the face by that foul pop-up that Southern Indiana failed to catch a little bit earlier in the contest. She hung in there, and Guitar's been out there a long time this inning, and it's been a long day today in terms of pitches. She's still got some work to do, though, even with 2 out here. Got to take care of Schoolcraft, the 9th batter in the inning. That's a super play by the third baseman. Backhanded stop and the toss across by McClooney. And finally, Southern Indiana retired, but they pick up 4 runs in the inning. Here's the big blow right here, a 2-run double. And 3 outs to go for Jen Leonard and the Screaming Eagles to earn a date against Grand Valley tomorrow here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Outside their sport and engage in areas that will help them succeed in their career and in life after college. Become a Division II student athlete and make it yours. Visit ncaa.org/D2 to learn more. Out for the Warriors, designated player, number 10, Brooke Turkle.
It hasn't gone great offensively for Wayne State today, and now they need a miracle. Down 4 against Jen Leonard, against whom they've done very little. First pitch swinging is Brooke Turkle. It's a high pop-up on the infield, and that's Ricketts, who's going to get that one on the edge of the outfield grass, and that is a quick first out. Ashley Messina bats next. And it's down to the battery for Wayne State here, the catcher Messina, and then the pitcher Megan Guitar to face Jen Leonard. Been pretty good in this ball game today. She'll probably have a rougher ride if she starts the game tomorrow against Grand Valley, which we will have for you at 11 o'clock, regardless of who it is, Wayne State or Southern Indiana. Hope you can join us for that on the Grand Valley Sports Network. Hillsdale will play the second game against the loser of this contest, and then the loser of game 1 will play the winner of game 2 in the third game of the day. And that could involve any of the 4 teams. Good pitch on the edge. Ashley Messina steps out, wants to try to slow down the pitching express that is Jennifer Leonard. Swing there, but foul down past Gary Bryce in the third base coach's box. In the air to left field, not very deep. Left fielder tracking in, and that's in the glove of Alicia Webb for out number 2. So it's down to Megan Guitar, who pitched and really worked hard in this one all the way up into the 6th inning. 5 scoreless innings, and it kind of fell apart. She gave up a hit, and then on a bunt attempt, Wayne State tried to get the lead runner. Didn't get anybody, and then the floodgates opened up. In the air on the right side, this could end it. Second baseman chasing over, and making the catch is Claire Johnson to end it here for the Screaming Eagles, who shut out Wayne State in game 2. 4 runs in the 6th inning, get it done for the team from Evansville, Indiana. They'll move on to play Grand Valley tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We will have it for you here on the Grand Valley Sports Network. So Grand Valley and Southern Indiana, the 2 higher seeded teams, win the first games today. And they will play tomorrow. It'll be Hillsdale against Wayne State in the second one. That'll do it for our broadcast here today from Allendale, Michigan. I want to thank you for being with us for our doubleheader coverage of the Women's Division II Softball Regional Tournament games here at Grand Valley State University. I'm Tom Cleary. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.